So much of our business data, right? It's just trapped in these endless flat spreadsheets. But what if? What if you could see it in a totally new way? I'm talking 3 dimensions. Let's dive in and figure out how to unlock the real stories that are hidden inside all those numbers. Okay, so look at this, $270,059. I mean, it's a big number, for sure. But is that good? Is it bad? We have no idea. Without any context, it's just what the book calls a lonely number. And on its own, it's pretty much meaningless. And that's really the big question here, isn't it? By itself, this number tells us, well, next to nothing. So if we want to make it meaningful, we've got to find the story that's hidden inside. All right, let's start digging. So to get any real answers, we have to move beyond just flat data. It's all about adding context. Because really, in data analysis, context is everything. It's what separates a random number from a genuinely powerful insight. And this really gets to the heart of the problem. A list of numbers doesn't mean a thing until you know what they actually represent. It's the details, the descriptions, all those little qualifiers. That's the stuff that transforms a lonely number into actual usable business intelligence. Okay, so how do we add that crucial context? Well, we do it by thinking in dimensions. This is the key. This is how we take a simple list of numbers and start building a real picture of what's actually happening. Now, don't let that word dimension freak you out. We're not about to get into some crazy theoretical physics here. A dimension is really just a way to categorize your data. Think of it like a lens, a certain perspective you can use to look at your information. Okay, so it turns out our lonely number, that $270,000, is our total annual sales. So let's look at it through our first dimension, region. And just like that, we have something useful. We can see right away that the central region is the top performer. See? We've just added our very first layer of context. All right, now let's take that exact same total, but look at it through a different dimension, this time by product. And whoa, look at that. Widgets are outselling gizmos more than 2 to 1. It's the same grand total, but a completely different story. Okay, now this is where things get really powerful. We're combining 2 dimensions here, product and time. And suddenly we're uncovering way deeper insights. Look at Q3. Sales for both products just took a nosedive. The big question is why? And then boom, in Q4, widget sales just exploded. This right here is where real analysis starts. We're not just looking at numbers anymore. We're spotting trends and asking those really important questions. And all of this leads us to that big aha moment. We've seen just how powerful adding these dimensions can be. Well, the technology that makes all of this possible is called OLAP. And it's all built around this really cool concept, the data cube. So, OLAP, it stands for Online Analytical Processing. Basically, it's the engine that powers this kind of multidimensional analysis. It's the software that lets you slice and dice all that data from all the different angles we've been talking about. Think about it. A 2D table is fine, it's great, but what happens when we want to add our third dimension, region, back into the mix? Yeah, a flat spreadsheet just can't handle that. We're going to need a better structure. And this is it, the OLAP cube. This is how we can visualize data in 3 dimensions, all at the same time. The caption says it all. It's like a Rubik's Cube for your business data. You can twist it, turn it, and see how all the different pieces, regions, products, time, all relate to each other. So cool. Okay, so now that we have our data loaded into this super powerful cube, we can actually start to interact with it. This is the fun part. This is where an analyst goes from just passively looking at data to actively drilling into it to find the real story. This whole process is called drilling down. So imagine you're looking at the data and you see that production at, say, factory C dipped in the 4th quarter. With an OLAP tool, you don't just jot that down in a notebook. No, you literally click on that Q4 number and you instantly drill down to see the monthly data. And bam, there it is. You find out that December was the specific problem. And that's how you turn a general observation into something you can actually act on. And drilling down is just one move in the playbook. You can also drill up to zoom out and see the bigger picture. Or you can even drill through to look at related data from a completely different cube. It's this incredible flexibility that really makes OLAP so powerful. All right, so we get it. OLAP is powerful. But you should know that not all OLAP systems are built the same way. Behind the scenes, you've got different kinds of engines, and they're each designed for different needs. The 2 main flavors you'll hear about are MOLAP and ROLAP. The easiest way to think about it is with a car analogy. MOLAP is like the sports car. It uses a specialized data cube, and it's built for pure, blazing speed. ROLAP, on the other hand, is more like a reliable sedan. It uses standard databases, so it's more flexible and needs less prep work. Totally different tools for different jobs. But what if you want both? What if you want speed and flexibility? Well, that's where HOLAP, or hybrid OLAP, comes into the picture. And the book has this perfect analogy for it. It says it's a lot like a hybrid car. When you need that raw power, the gas-guzzling engine, the MLAP part, roars to life. But when you're just cruising along, it switches over to the more efficient electric motor, the rollout part. It's pretty easy to see the benefit, right? With HOLAP, you really do get the best of both worlds. You get that high-performance speed when you really need it, and you get that flexible, easy access for everything else. It's just a really smart solution that adapts to whatever you need to do. So, let's step back. We started with a single, lonely number, and we transformed it into this dynamic, three-dimensional cube that's just packed with insights. The thing is, your data is already telling a rich, complex story. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, are you seeing it in all its dimensions?